My name is Marcus, a financial analyst at a bustling investment firm in the heart of Chicago. There's been an ongoing rivalry in my department, mainly with my supervisor, Elaine. Elaine and I seem to clash at every turn. Elaine, I genuinely believe that approach is destined to fail. We need to strategize more effectively, I'd say, but Elaine's work is consistently careless, causing headaches for the entire team. Everyone is too afraid to confront the formidable supervisor, but I'm the only one who dares to speak up. Zip it, Marcus. You're such a pain, Elaine would retort with an irritated sigh, often leading to a heated disagreement. Today was no different, with Elaine and me at loggerheads once more. What was unusual was that despite being reprimanded in front of my colleagues, a demeaning experience, Elaine kept smiling triumphantly. What's with the attitude? If you have an issue, just say it, I said. Elaine's grin was almost devilish, as if she had intimate knowledge of my personal life. She slightly covered her mouth and said, "Oops, can't reveal any more than that," before stepping outside for a smoke break. I couldn't stop dwelling on her words and immediately followed her. I have a wife named Sophia, 2 years younger than me, but our marriage has been struggling lately. I called out to Elaine, who was about to light a cigarette, and asked her what she meant. Elaine smirked, lit her cigarette, and after exhaling a cloud of smoke, she dropped a bombshell. Sophia is going to remarry me. What? My hand trembled slightly. Elaine said mockingly, "It doesn't matter to you anyway, right? You're planning to divorce her soon, aren't you? It's true that Sophia and I have been having difficulties, but I love her. I had no intention of ending our marriage. I wanted to work on improving our relationship." However, as if to crush my hopes, Elaine said, "You're too arrogant, Marcus. That's why she's leaving you. Do you know what Sophia says about you behind your back?" After tossing her cigarette butt into the ashtray, Elaine whispered to me, "He's all talk." She then burst into laughter and said, "Your wife's the best," before heading back to the department. I was speechless and couldn't move for a while. I'm just an ordinary financial analyst working for a typical investment firm in Chicago. My love story with Sophia began at work. We were in the same group during our new hire training, which led us to connect and eventually start dating. We smoothly transitioned into marriage. Sophia was incredibly responsible. She even took the lead in our training group, and I admired her work ethic. When we got married, Sophia wanted to continue working, but I wanted her to stay home and focus on our family. I told her, "I'll be the breadwinner and provide for us." Then she said, "If we have children, I want to fulfill my role as a mother, so I'm considering quitting my job." After that, she resigned from the company and became a full-time homemaker. But that might have been the moment when she began to change. The most significant issue between us was our inability to have children. Sophia started to stress out constantly, blaming herself, saying, "Why did I quit my job if we can't have kids?" Whenever I tried to comfort her, she would push me away, yelling, "Don't touch me. You took my job away, and yet you just keep working the same job. Bring home some promotion news for once." Her anger would escalate, leading to intense arguments. For over 6 months, Sophia and I went through a rough patch. During that time, she might have been secretly meeting with my boss, Elaine. Apparently, Sophia called me all talk. Indeed, my promise to provide for us meant nothing if I couldn't fulfill it. I remember Elaine always favored Sophia, and they might have kept in touch even after I married her. Seizing the opportunity as our relationship soured, they probably started an affair. I wanted to confront Sophia about everything. However, when I got home, her belongings were gone. The affair was a fact, and now it was thrust upon me. To have my wife taken by my nemesis boss was a humiliation beyond words. Nothing could have been more frustrating. Gradually, I couldn't stand working at the same company as Elaine and decided to quit. It was one misfortune after another. "Why are you quitting, Marcus?" my colleagues would ask. I'd just smile and say, "I'm moving on to a new job." None of them knew about my divorce or Sophia's affair with Elaine. I couldn't possibly tell the truth. Maybe I should have filed for divorce on the grounds of infidelity, but all I wanted was to escape to a place where I didn't have to see Elaine's face. Perhaps there was also a sense of guilt for not making Sophia happy. Being alone in the house made me feel even more weighed down. The absence of Sophia made our two-bedroom apartment feel even larger. Though I told my colleagues I was getting a new job, I had no motivation or plans for job hunting. I was aimlessly wandering around the city when I suddenly found myself in the nightlife district. Maybe I should drink my sorrows away, just for the night. Standing in front of a bar that caught my eye, I resolved to drink until morning, consumed by despair. I reached for the door, and at that moment, I heard a woman's voice saying, "Oh, there you are. I've missed you so much." Startled, I turned around to see an unfamiliar woman who then grabbed my arm and behaved as if we were a couple, leaving me utterly confused. "Ah, what?" The woman, still clinging to my arm, asked, "Where are we going tonight?" Who was this woman? However, I noticed her arm trembling slightly, and her smile seemed to mask fear. Something must be up, I thought. Thinking quickly, I played along. "Well, let's go to a place you like." When I said that, she slightly nodded and eagerly said, "Yay. Follow me, please." I followed her lead. She took me to a nightclub. Standing in front of the club, she sighed in relief. "Thank you for going along with my story. I managed to get through thanks to you." The woman thanked me. Her name was Vanessa, an alias she used at the club. Vanessa invited me inside and guided me to a seat. Once seated, she explained why she pretended to know me. "I've actually been stalked by a customer who kept insisting on an afterparty. He's this awful old guy who would touch me inappropriately. I always refused because who knows what he might do if I went with him." I understood her situation. "I see. So you clung to me, a random guy nearby, because you felt in danger." She confirmed, "That's right. It was just awful, but I was saved because you were there. I really like dependable men." Saying this, Vanessa placed her hand on my thigh. She was a very beautiful woman, and just that was enough to make my heart race. Having been called unreliable by Sophia and essentially discarded, her words had rebuilt my shattered male pride. "Let's enjoy the night," she said seductively, with captivating eyes. Just then, a waiter came over and said, "Feel free to have a drink," offering us a menu. "Then I'll take you up on that offer," I said. As I was about to take the menu, an unexpected situation unfolded. "Excuse me," a woman suddenly intervened. "Hey, what's up, Natalie? I don't need help." "Vanessa, please stop doing this." The woman Vanessa called Natalie glared at her intensely. Then Vanessa's demeanor changed abruptly. "What?" Natalie grabbed my arm and pulled me out of the club. As I was being dragged along, I couldn't help but think about how many times I was going to be grabbed by a woman today. "Should be safe here. Sorry, Marcus." "Ah, no, it's okay. I'm used to being dragged around." "Wait, how do you know my name? Don't you recognize me?" she asked, turning to face me. "Wait, I've seen her somewhere before," I thought. After staring at her for a while, I suddenly exclaimed, "Olivia? Is that you?" Olivia was a junior analyst from the company I had recently left. My impression of her was a very serious and quiet woman who barely wore makeup. But now, with her dramatically curled lashes, bold cheek, and lip makeup, she had completely transformed into a woman of the night. "You work here?" I asked, and Olivia nodded. Natalie was her alias in the club. "I knew the company allowed side jobs, but I never imagined you had this other side. When I saw you come to the club, I was surprised. But since you left the company recently, I thought it wouldn't be a problem to talk to you. I didn't want to see a former senior getting tricked." "What do you mean?" I asked. Olivia sighed as if troubled. "That Vanessa. She's been using some pretty nasty tactics to lure customers lately." "Did she grab your arm and say, 'I missed you,' making up a story about being stalked by another customer?" Realizing she was right, I let out an involuntary, "Yeesh." Olivia continued, "Just as I thought. It seems you had almost fallen for a kind of theatrical scam." What a spectacle, in front of a junior analyst, no less. I'm so embarrassed. Thanks for the help, Olivia. It's nothing, really. The club had its eye on Vanessa's behavior anyway. I'll report your case to the manager. That's a relief. Can I ask you something? What is it? Just curious, but why are you working at a place like this? I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I just wanted to drink until I pass out today. I feel lonely and wanted to hear someone's story. Feeling a bit pathetic for leaning on a junior analyst, I braced myself and asked her. Olivia seemed to ponder for a moment, then whispered, "It's Marcus, so I guess it would be fine." And then she said, "Okay, I understand," and began her story. Actually, I'm being forced to work at that club, almost like it's against my will. What? I exclaimed. My mother is a bit of a mess. After she divorced my father, she went off the deep end, got involved in some weird religion, and racked up a huge debt. Now I'm the one trying to pay it off. But that's your mother's debt, not yours, right? Then Olivia turned her face away. I've always done whatever my mother told me to. She demanded money, so I just followed her orders. Olivia shared that she grew up enduring violence from her mentally unwell mother, which made it hard for her to defy her. I used to be a brighter girl, but ever since my mother changed, I've become shy and gloomy. I hate what I've become. She, who was always expressionless, distorted her face only when saying these last words. It must have been a very difficult life, a life bound by her mother. Watching her, I strangely felt the urge to help. Why don't you just run away from your mother? Olivia looked at me with surprise in her eyes. I've tried to run away so many times, but I'm scared. Her presence is just. Her shoulders were trembling slightly. She might have been reliving unpleasant memories. I gently placed my hand on her shoulder. Then let me help you talk to your mother. Why would you go that far for me, Marcus? I shrugged and gave her a smile. I had divorced, you know, about Sophia, right? She was having an affair with Elaine. A divorce? Really? Yes, I said and tried to smile, but inside, I felt like crying. I ran away from that job. I had to escape. It's embarrassing and pathetic, but I ran and ran. I repeated the word, ran, and then said, I'm trying to grab onto the next happiness. I surprised myself. Just moments ago, I was in the depths of despair, but now I could say something so positive. It's okay to run from the past. Next time, you just need to find happiness in the future. It felt like I was telling myself more than Olivia. Right, I should also look forward, I thought. The reason I wanted to help Olivia was that I saw her on the same brink of despair as I was. When I looked up, our eyes met. Olivia, with a slightly apologetic expression, asked, "Will you really help me?" "I definitely will," I replied. Later, we arranged to meet with her mother. A few days later, I went to Olivia's family home and met her mother. "Could you please let your daughter go? Let her be free." But her mother yelled, "Don't stick your nose into other people's family matters. Your daughter is an excellent worker, but if she keeps juggling a day job and a night job, she'll break down eventually. Are you okay with that?" I found myself shouting. Still, her mother refused to listen and threatened, "If you say another word, I'll call the police." But then Olivia, with tears welling up in her eyes, said, "Mom, please stop. I'm going to leave you, Mom." It seemed my words had given Olivia the courage she needed. Despite her long-standing fear of her domineering mother, she now confronted her with all the frustration she had been holding back. It was an ordeal so terrible that I wondered if it was even appropriate for me, an outsider, to hear. The realization that her daughter was truly leaving must have struck her mother, who then pleaded, "Please don't abandon me." But Olivia's resolve didn't waver, and finally, she said goodbye, pulling my arm as we left the house. On the way home, Olivia asked me, "Was this the right thing to do?" It was good. Take some time away from her. You can meet her again later. For now, just take care of yourself. As I said this, Olivia seemed to find some resolution and showed me a smile for the first time, saying, "You're right. Let me treat you to something as a thank you next time." Her smile seemed to soothe my troubled heart. I never knew Olivia's smile could be so lovely. I found myself gazing at her for a long while. From that day on, our relationship changed from former colleagues to companions who had shared tough experiences. Later, Olivia and I started dating. She became brighter and more beautiful, always sharing smiles with me. Then one day, I ran into the most unexpected persons: my ex-wife, Sophia, and my former boss, Elaine. "Wow, what's this? Are you two together now?" "That's quite a surprise." Elaine looked astonished, switching her gaze between Olivia and me. Sophia, on the other hand, awkwardly averted her eyes from me. My heart almost stopped upon encountering these two, the very source of my trauma. I braced myself for what they might say, but surprisingly, it was Olivia who started talking. "Elaine, have you found a new job yet?" It was too late by the time Elaine responded. "Hey, wait." Sophia turned to her, demanding, "What do you mean, new job?" "That guy caused some problems at the workplace, so he's resigned, stepping down at the end of this month as part of taking responsibility. So, good luck, Elaine." Olivia said this and then pulled my arm, saying, "Let's go." As we walked past them, I could hear Sophia and Elaine's loud argument from far away. Feeling a bit relieved, Olivia grinned. "That was a little payback for the two who hurt you." Her dependable smile made me smile too. With Olivia, I felt I could find happiness again. This incident made me sure of her love for me. Actually, in my room, I already have an engagement ring that I've purchased. I'm secretly planning to give it to Olivia in the near future. Our relationship has grown stronger with each passing day, and I feel like she's the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. One evening, I invite Olivia to a fancy restaurant. The atmosphere is perfect, with soft lighting and romantic music playing in the background. As we enjoy our meal, I can't help but feel a bit nervous. I've been planning this moment for weeks, and I want everything to be perfect. After dessert, I take a deep breath and reach into my pocket. "Olivia, there's something I want to ask you," I say, my heart pounding in my chest. She looks at me with curiosity, her eyes widening as I pull out the small velvet box. "Olivia, you've been my rock, my support, and my love. You've helped me through some of the toughest times in my life, and I can't imagine a future without you by my side." I open the box, revealing the sparkling diamond ring. "Will you marry me?" Olivia's eyes fill with tears as she nods, a smile spreading across her face. "Yes, Marcus, yes. I will marry you." She throws her arms around me, and I feel a wave of happiness wash over me. We spend the next few months planning our wedding. It's a small, intimate ceremony with only our closest friends and family in attendance. As we exchange our vows, I can't help but think about how far we've come. After the wedding, Olivia and I settle into our new life together. We move into a cozy apartment in the city, and I start a new job at a different investment firm. Olivia continues to work as an analyst, but she's no longer burdened by her mother's debt. One day, we receive an unexpected visitor. It's Olivia's mother. She looks older and more frail than I remember, and there's a sadness in her eyes. "Olivia, Marcus, I'm sorry for everything," she says, her voice trembling. "I know I haven't been the best mother, and I've put you through so much. But I want to make things right." Olivia looks at her mother with surprise, but there's also a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "What do you mean, Mom?" "I've been going to therapy, and I've been working on myself," her mother explains. "I know I can't undo the past, but I want to be a better mother to you, Olivia. I want to be a part of your life, if you'll let me." Olivia looks at me, and I give her a reassuring nod. "Mom, I'm glad you're getting help," Olivia says, taking her mother's hand. "I want you to be a part of our lives, too. But we need to take things slowly, okay?" Her mother nods, tears streaming down her face. "Of course, Olivia. I understand." As the months pass, Olivia's relationship with her mother slowly improves. They start meeting for coffee once a week, and gradually, the wounds of the past begin to heal. One day, Olivia and I receive some wonderful news. We're going to be parents. As we prepare for the arrival of our little one, I can't help but reflect on how much my life has changed. Just a few years ago, I was in the depths of despair, my marriage crumbling and my career in shambles. But now, I have a loving wife, a supportive family, and a bright future ahead of me. As I hold our newborn daughter in my arms, I feel a sense of pure joy and contentment. "Welcome to the world, little one," I whisper, kissing her tiny forehead. "You're going to have the most amazing life, and your mommy and daddy will always be here to love and support you." Olivia leans in, resting her head on my shoulder. "We did it, Marcus," she says, her voice filled with emotion. "We found our happiness." I smile, holding my family close. "Yes, we did," I say, my heart overflowing with love. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you for listening to my story. Please leave your comments below. If you like this story, please like and subscribe to the channel to follow upcoming stories. Thank you.